Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've been doubted plenty for a long time and dealt with that time and time again and done a good job with it. So I think my mental toughness is in a good spot, and I'm not concerned about that.
You're taking a lot of hits in your career. At any point, does that take a mental toll on you when you're in the pocket?
I think, in the NFL, there's good pass rushers and defense is schemed up to affect the quarterback. So part of my job is being able to deal with that, move, find the space. When there's pressure in my face, stand in and deliver it. And, I feel like I've done that throughout my career and continuing to work on that and improve that.
Daniel, when you look back at the film from the game, did you feel like you were well protected by the offensive line?
I think they did a good job overall. I think, like every position on the field, there's things we need to clean up for sure, and I know they'll work to do that, but I thought overall they played pretty well.
Daniel, it's one thing when you face criticisms from people like us, media reporters, but how do you combat when you hear other players around the league take shots, professional, unprofessional, at your game?
I've said a number of times I'm concerned about the people in this building, and I think I got plenty of help, plenty of good coaching, plenty of good teammates to work with here. That's what I'm focused on. I've got people I trust, who I have relationships with, who can help me out. But in terms of other people and what they have to say or what they think from their perspective and what their observations are, it's really not very important to me.
What kind of feedback have you gotten from Dable since that game?
I think, we obviously broke down the game, and, it's play-by-play. It's specific to what happened and where the correction needs to be. I think, footwork-wise, I think, finding the opportunities when they're there and delivering the ball accurately. But, a lot of things I talked about improving, I think, were points of emphasis after watching the film.
Do you think some of the criticism has almost crossed the line? There was a video that the fans waiting at the players' exit to heckle you. Some of the criticism almost crossed the line at this point.
I'm not fan. They're upset and frustrated, and we're frustrated too. So I understand that. I'm not easily offended. I understand, how it works, and I got to play better. We all got to play better.
Danny, you've said all along that confidence is not a problem that you've had, and you feel as though you're confident in your ability. Do you think what went wrong on Sunday is not necessarily confidence, it's more technically, like you said, you see your footwork, you see things that maybe you should have done differently from a fundamental perspective that didn't go right? Yeah,
certainly. I think fundamentally, some things to clean up and just seeing it, trusting it, decision making. I think all those things. In each play, there's certain things that come up that need to be corrected. So I'll look to do that. I think confident in my ability, confident in my ability to go out and execute, and look forward to doing that on Sunday.
Daniel, there's a new regime in Washington. From just the one game of tape that you've seen, are there any significant differences that you notice in their defense?
It's a different system. I think you can tell it's a different system. Do some different things. I guess there's some similarities in the personnel and the carry over there. But yeah, different system for sure. So we'll prepare for it, accordingly.
Daniel, you talked about the fundamentals of footwork a couple of times. This is your 6th year in the league. Is that something that's a constant battle, or something that was kind of a new issue?
I think it's something you're always working on. I think you're always, trying to zero in on your fundamentals and make sure those are clean. I think, getting back in a game situation and playing, for the first week, I think, there's going to be things like that you need to address, and I'm certainly working to do that. I think, when I say footwork, it's not always a purely fundamental, can I take a 3-step drop? I think it's specific to certain plays. It's specific to the rush. It's specific to where the throw needs to be. So that's there's a fundamental aspect to it, but there's also a specific aspect to the play.
Do you get the sense at all that you're playing right now to keep your starting job? Is that on your mind at all?
I'm playing to win games. Playing to lead the team to score points and win games, and that's always been my focus. I know I can do that. I just got to do it. Got to do it well.
You don't consider the stakes that if you don't do that on Sunday, that there could be a change?
Like I said, I'm focused on doing my job and playing well, and confident I can do that.